Police in India say they've recovered the body of an American who was killed by an isolated island tribe that is known for attacking outsiders.
This was a journey American missionary John Chow was warned against taking. The island was off limits to protect outsiders and the tribe, which has no immunity to modern diseases.
A tribe so dangerous, it's said that anyone who sets foot near their land vanishes without a trace. Their strange customs and mysterious ways have terrified explorers for centuries, from the elusive Sentinelese of the Andaman Islands to the deadly Wodaabe of Niger. These tribes live by their own rules, but none are as feared as these.
In the midst of this appears paddling, stark naked, an obviously Caucasian man. Is it possible this is Michael Rockefeller? Well, we don't know.
Let's see why. Hidden warriors. The Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world, live on North Sentinel Island in the Andaman Islands, India. Known for their fierce resistance to outsiders, they are believed to have lived on the island for over 60,000 years. The tribe has no written language, and their lifestyle is entirely focused on hunting, fishing, and gathering. They live in small huts made from palm leaves and bamboo with a deep connection to their land. The Sentinelese avoid all forms of modern civilization, and any attempt at contact has been met with violence. Due to their isolation, they have remained largely unaffected by outside diseases, making them incredibly vulnerable if contact were ever made. Their mysterious and protective nature has fascinated anthropologists, who consider them a living link to humanity's distant past. Desert survivalists. Sand people, also known as Bushmen, are one of the oldest indigenous groups in Africa, living primarily in the Kalahari Desert across Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. With their profound knowledge of the desert's flora and fauna, the San have survived for thousands of years as hunters and gatherers. They are renowned for their ability to track animals over vast distances, using their unparalleled skills in reading the land. The San also possess a deep spiritual connection to nature, believing in a world populated by spirits that influence their everyday lives. Their traditional way of life is under threat from modern society, but many San communities still preserve their rich cultural heritage, speaking their unique click languages and passing down oral histories. Despite modern pressures, they remain a living testament to humanity's ancient survival instincts. Omo Valley warriors.
Sleep.
Mursi people, native to Ethiopia's Omo Valley, are renowned for their distinctive lip plates, a cultural practice that symbolizes beauty and status. Mursi women, starting from a young age, have their lower lips pierced and gradually stretched to fit larger plates, which they wear proudly as part of their identity. The Mursi are pastoralists, herding cattle and living in mud brick houses. They practice polygyny, where men have multiple wives, and are fiercely protective of their land and traditions. The Mursi society is deeply rooted in oral traditions, with stories passed down through generations, and their culture is a blend of rich rituals and customs, including elaborate dances and spiritual ceremonies. Despite the intrusion of outsiders, the Mursi continue to uphold their traditions, making them one of the most iconic tribes in East Africa.
Sleep.
Namibian nomads. The Himba, a semi-nomadic tribe from Namibia, are known for their striking appearance and unique lifestyle. Their skin is coated with a mixture of ochre and butterfat, giving them a red hue that protects against the harsh desert sun. The Himba are cattle herders, and their wealth is measured by the size of their herds. The tribe lives in small settlements called kraal, where they construct traditional homes made of mud, cow dung, and reeds. The Himba women are particularly known for their elaborate hairstyles, which symbolize their age, marital status, and social rank. Despite their isolated existence, the Himba have adapted modern technologies like cell phones and solar panels without compromising their traditional practices. Their resilience in the face of modernity has made them both fascinating and enigmatic to outsiders. Forest nomads. Indigenous to the rainforests of Cameroon and the Congo, the Baka people have long lived a semi-nomadic life, relying heavily on their deep understanding of the forest for survival. They are known for their hunting and gathering practices, using simple tools and working in harmony with nature. The Baka live in small, temporary villages made of branches and leaves, constantly moving in search of food, especially fruits, roots, and forest game. One of their most remarkable abilities is their vocal technique, known as yodeling, which they use in their music, believed to connect them to the spirits of the forest. Their lifestyle is deeply spiritual, with many rituals designed to honor the natural world. However, their way of life is increasingly threatened by deforestation and encroachment from logging and mining industries. Despite this, the Baka continue to uphold their traditions, relying on their resilience to survive. Mountain people. The Chimbu, or Kuman people, are an indigenous group from the Central Highlands of Papua New Guinea. Known for their stunning body art and unique facial decorations, they have a strong warrior culture and live in small villages spread across the mountainous terrain. The Chimbu are known for their traditional practice of fighting, which has historically been a part of their survival, though now much of it is ceremonial. They farm a variety of crops, such as sweet potatoes and taro, and raise pigs, which are considered a valuable asset. What makes the Chimbu particularly fascinating is their ancient sing-sing ceremonies, where they gathered to perform elaborate dances and chants in celebration of peace and prosperity. Their customs and colorful attire make them one of the most visually striking tribes in the world. Sacred mountain dwellers. The Huli tribe, native to the highlands of Papua New Guinea, are known for their elaborate and vibrant attire, especially their striking wigs made from human hair and decorated with feathers, which are worn during ceremonial dances. The Huli people are primarily agriculturalists, growing crops such as sweet potatoes, and their society is built around clan structures, with each clan having its own unique customs and totems. The Huli hold a deep connection to their sacred mountains and ancestral spirits, with many of their traditions centered around the belief that their ancestors still watch over them. They are also known for their Huli wigmen, male warriors who adorn themselves with extravagant headwear during ceremonial battles or celebrations. The Huli's colorful, ritualistic lifestyle and deep spiritual beliefs make them one of Papua New Guinea's most visually captivating tribes. Last forest people. The AWA people, a tribe living in the Brazilian Amazon, are often referred to as one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world. Known for their deep knowledge of the rainforest, the AWA are hunter-gatherers, relying on the forest for food, shelter, and medicine. They live in small, semi-nomadic groups and build temporary shelters from palm leaves and branches. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Awa's lifestyle is their close relationship with nature, believing that animals, plants, and the forest itself are interconnected beings. The tribe is deeply spiritual and holds a reverence for the natural world that is reflected in their daily rituals and ceremonies. However, the Awa's way of life is under threat due to deforestation and encroachment by logging companies. Efforts to protect them and their land have become a crucial mission for many conservationists and human rights groups. Arctic nomads. The Chukchi people, indigenous to Siberia's far northeastern coast of Russia, are known for their resilience in one of the world's most inhospitable climates. Historically, the Chukchi were reindeer herders and hunters, relying on their animals for food, clothing, and transportation. They are also skilled fishermen, catching fish from the icy waters of the Bering Sea. The Chukchi live in portable homes known as chum, which are made from reindeer skins and wooden poles. They have a rich oral tradition, passing down stories of the spirits, animals, and their connection to the natural world. The Chukchi are also known for their shamanic practices, with shamans performing rituals to ensure the health and success of the community. While their traditional lifestyle has been impacted by modernization, the Chukchi continue to honor their heritage through celebrations, rituals, and the maintenance of their reindeer herding culture. Running people.
How did Raramuri runners how they run 100 miles and don't get tired.
The Raramuri, or Tarahumara people, are an indigenous group from the remote mountainous regions of the Sierra Madre in Mexico. Renowned for their incredible stamina, they are famous as the running people, capable of running distances of up to 200 miles in a single stretch without rest. This endurance is partly attributed to their unique lifestyle, which revolves around long-distance running as part of their daily activities and religious ceremonies. The Raramuri live in small, isolated villages where they continue to practice a traditional lifestyle growing corn, beans, and squash. They are known for their intricate weaving and basket making skills, which are passed down through generations. Their vibrant, colorful clothing is often made from hand-woven textiles, and their deep spiritual beliefs are intertwined with the land they inhabit. Despite facing pressures from modern society and the encroachment of external influences, the Raramuri maintain a strong sense of cultural pride and connection to their land. Mountain Guardians. The Karakol people, located in the mountainous region of Kyrgyzstan, live in one of the most rugged and breathtaking landscapes in the world. Known for their deep connection to the mountains, the Karakol are primarily herders, tending to large flocks of sheep, yaks, and horses. They live in yurts made of felt, which are portable and well-suited to the nomadic lifestyle they've practiced for centuries. The Karakol people are also known for their equestrian skills and their history as expert horse riders and breeders. Horseback riding remains a central part of their culture, with traditional games like cock-baroo still practiced in villages. Spiritual beliefs are rooted in shamanism, and many Karakol people still follow ancient rituals to honor the spirits of nature, including mountain deities. Despite their isolated location, the Karakol are resilient, maintaining their customs in the face of modernization and external influences. Warriors of Sudan. Living in the Nuba Mountains of Sudan, Nuba people have a rich cultural heritage that dates back thousands of years. They are primarily farmers, cultivating crops like millet and beans, and also raise livestock. What makes the Nuba unique is their incredible athleticism and tradition of body decoration. Nuba men and women often engage in wrestling matches, which are an important part of their culture and social life. These contests are not just physical, but also symbolic, representing strength and bravery. The Nuba are known for their vibrant tattoos and scars, often marking important life events and spiritual beliefs. The region they inhabit is incredibly remote, and the Nuba's way of life has remained largely unchanged, despite the challenges of political conflict in the surrounding areas. Their resilience and unique cultural practices continue to draw the interest of anthropologists and historians alike. Forest dwellers. The Pygmies are a group of indigenous peoples living in Central Africa, specifically in the Congo Basin, where they have inhabited the rainforest for thousands of years. Known for their short stature, the Pygmies have adapted to their environment by developing extraordinary hunting and survival skills. They are primarily hunter-gatherers, using blowpipes and poison-tipped arrows to hunt forest animals like monkeys and antelope. The Pygmies are also known for their deep knowledge of the forest, understanding the plants and animals that thrive within it. Their social structure is egalitarian, with no formal leaders, and decisions are made collectively by the group. The Pygmies' spiritual beliefs are closely tied to the forest, and they hold rituals to communicate with spirits of nature. However, their traditional way of life is increasingly under threat due to deforestation, illegal logging, and displacement by outside forces. Warriors of Africa. The Maasai, a nomadic tribe from Kenya and Tanzania, are widely known for their striking red shuka and their history of fierce warrior culture. Traditionally cattle herders, the Maasai measure their wealth and social status by the size of their herds. Their diet revolves around milk, meat, and blood from their cattle, and they live in small villages called Nkangs. The Maasai are famous for their warrior class, known for their bravery, acrobatics, and powerful rituals that mark their transition into adulthood. In addition to their distinct clothing, the Maasai are known for their elaborate beadwork, which signifies their age, family, and social rank. Despite the pressures of modern life and encroachment on their lands, the Maasai continue to maintain their cultural practices, making them one of Africa's most resilient and fascinating tribes. Monsters of Arctic. The Inuit, a group of indigenous peoples from the Arctic regions of Canada, Greenland, and Alaska, have adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. Historically, they were skilled hunters and fishers, relying on seals, whales, and fish for food, as well as using every part of the animals for tools, clothing, and shelter. Their iconic igloos, made from snow blocks, are testament to their ingenuity in freezing temperatures. Inuit culture is deeply tied to the land and sea, with a strong emphasis on community and family. Spiritual beliefs, including respect for animal spirits and a deep connection to nature, are central to their way of life. The Inuit also have a rich tradition of storytelling, passing down knowledge and history through generations. Despite challenges such as climate change and outside influence, the Inuit continue to preserve their cultural practices while navigating the modern world. Bedouin nomads. The Bedouin people are traditionally nomadic Arab tribes that have lived in the deserts of the Middle East and North Africa for centuries. Known for their resilience in harsh environments, the Bedouin have adapted to life in the arid regions, herding camels, goats, and sheep. Their tents, made of woven goat hair, are designed to provide shelter from both the intense heat and the cold desert nights. Bedouin culture places a strong emphasis on hospitality, and it is customary to offer food, drink, and protection to travelers. The Bedouin also have a rich oral tradition, with poetry and storytelling playing a key role in preserving their history. In recent years, many Bedouins have been forced to adapt to modern life, as their traditional nomadic lifestyle has been impacted by urbanization and political changes. Nonetheless, they remain fiercely proud of their heritage and cultural values. Masters of Sea. The Kuna people of Panama are an indigenous group known for their beautiful molas, intricate hand-sewn textiles that represent their unique cultural identity. Living on the San Blas Islands, the Kuna are primarily fishermen and farmers, living in small villages that dot the Caribbean coastline. Their lifestyle is closely tied to the sea, with fishing as a primary source of sustenance. The Kuna are also famous for their matriarchal society, where women hold significant power in decision-making. Their intricate molas are not only a form of clothing, but also a representation of their spiritual beliefs, as many designs are inspired by the natural world. Despite modern pressures, the Kuna have fiercely maintained their traditional way of life, actively preserving their language and cultural practices in the face of globalization. Ancient people of Japan. The Ainu are an indigenous people of Japan, primarily residing in Hokkaido, the northernmost island, as well as parts of Russia's Sakhalin and Kuril Islands. The Ainu have a distinct culture and language, which is unrelated to the Japanese language. Traditionally, the Ainu were hunter-gatherers, relying on fishing, hunting bears, and foraging for plants. Their spiritual beliefs are deeply connected to nature, with reverence for spirits known as kamui, believed to inhabit all natural elements, from animals to trees and rivers. Ainu women traditionally wear intricate woven garments and decorate their faces with tattoos, which were believed to protect them from evil spirits. Despite facing centuries of discrimination and efforts to assimilate, the Ainu have preserved many of their customs and continue to fight for recognition and the preservation of their culture and language in modern Japan. Native Amazonian warriors. The Shuar people, native to the Amazon rainforest regions of Ecuador and Peru, are best known for their warrior culture and their ancient practice of headhunting. Historically, the Shuar believed that cutting off the heads of their enemies would capture their spirits and give the warrior power. While this practice has largely faded, the Shuar maintain a deep connection to the land and its resources, hunting and farming to sustain their community. They grow crops like cassava and plantains, and their diet is supplemented by hunting wild animals such as monkeys and tapirs. The Shuar are also known for their shamanic traditions, with powerful healers called Raramuri, who use herbal medicine and spiritual rituals to cure ailments and communicate with the spirit world. Despite modern challenges, including pressures from outside cultures, the Shuar continue to preserve their identity and unique practices. Rituals of death. The Toraja people, indigenous to the highlands of Sulawesi, Indonesia, are known for their elaborate funeral rites, which are among the most intricate in the world. For the Toraja, death is not the end, but a journey to the afterlife, and funeral ceremonies can last for days, sometimes even weeks. The most remarkable part of the funeral is the Maknena ritual, where the bodies of the deceased are exhumed, cleaned, and dressed in new clothes as a sign of respect. correct. The Toraja are also known for their unique architecture, particularly their large curved roof houses known as the Tonkonan, which are symbols of social status. Their ancestors are honored in annual ceremonies that include feasting, dancing, and animal sacrifices. Despite the influence of Christianity and Islam, the Toraja continue to practice their animist beliefs and maintain a deep connection to their traditions. People of Benue. The Tiv people are an ethnic group native to Nigeria, living primarily along the Benue River in the central part of the country. Known for their agricultural practices, the Tiv are skilled farmers, cultivating crops like yams, cassava, and maize. Their society is structured around extended families and villages, with each family contributing to the community's welfare. One of the most interesting aspects of Tiv culture is their social organization, with a traditional council of elders that governs each village. The Tiv are also known for their rich oral traditions, including storytelling and praise poetry, which serve as a way of preserving history and maintaining social order. Their spiritual beliefs are centered on a supreme god, Ayondo, and a belief in ancestral spirits. Despite the encroachment of modern influences, the Tiv continue to honor their cultural practices, maintaining a strong sense of identity. Reindeer people. The Sami people, indigenous to the Arctic regions of Scandinavia and Russia, have a rich culture centered around reindeer herding. Their nomadic lifestyle is based on the seasonal migration of their herds, following the changing climates and terrain of the Arctic regions. Sami culture is deeply tied to nature, with their traditional songs known as joik, meant to honor the animals and spirits of the land. Reindeer provide the Sami with food, clothing, and materials for shelter, and they are considered sacred animals. The Sami also have a unique language, which has several dialects spoken across the region. Over the centuries, the Sami have faced pressure from colonization and modern forces, but continue to uphold their traditions, fighting for land rights and cultural recognition. Their deep connection to the land and their resilience in a harsh environment make them one of the most fascinating indigenous cultures. Spiritual guardians. The Baniwa people are a group of indigenous tribes located in the Amazon basin of Brazil, known for their vibrant culture and spiritual beliefs. The Baniwa are primarily fishermen and farmers, growing crops like manioc and plantains, while also hunting small game in the dense rainforest. Their social structure is deeply rooted in their connection to the spirit world, with a belief that everything in nature is imbued with pade, spiritual essence. They practice shamanism, where the shaman, or paye, serves as a healer and guide, communicating with the spirits through ritual and song. The Baniwa also have a rich tradition of pottery and weaving, creating intricate designs that reflect their connection to the natural world. Despite facing pressure from logging and deforestation, the Baniwa continue to maintain their traditional lifestyle, keeping their spiritual practices and culture alive. Ancient traditions. The Aboriginal Australians are one of the world's oldest continuous cultures, with a history dating back over 65,000 years. They are spread across Australia, with different groups living in varied environments, from the deserts to the coastal regions. Aboriginal Australians are known for their deep spiritual connection to the land, which they consider sacred. Their Dreamtime stories explain the creation of the world and their relationship with animals, plants, and the earth. They are skilled hunters and gatherers, using tools like spears and boomerangs. The Aboriginal people also have a rich tradition of art, including rock paintings and intricate dot paintings, which tell stories and represent their connection to the land. Despite colonization and the disruption of their way of life, Aboriginal Australians continue to maintain their cultural identity and traditions, fighting for land rights and the preservation of their heritage. Nomadic forest dwellers. The Punan people, indigenous to the rainforests of Borneo, are traditionally nomadic hunter-gatherers. They are known for their intimate relationship with the jungle, where they live in harmony with nature. Historically, the Punan moved between temporary settlements in search of food, relying on the abundance of the forest for sustenance, hunting wild boar, gathering fruits, and fishing in the rivers. The Punan live in longhouses made from bamboo and wood, designed to withstand the tropical climate. They have a deep spiritual connection to the forest, with beliefs rooted rooted in animism, where spirits inhabit both animals and trees. Their traditional tools like blowpipes and spears are essential for hunting. In recent years, the Punan have faced challenges due to deforestation and the introduction of modern agricultural practices, threatening their traditional way of life. Despite these pressures, the Punan continue to fight to preserve their culture and the forest that sustains them. Warriors of Assam. The Bodo people are an indigenous ethnic group from the northeastern state of Assam in India. Known for their warrior heritage, the Bodo have a rich history of battling invaders and defending their land. Traditionally, they have been rice farmers, cultivating vast fields of paddy and relying on the fertile soil of Assam's Brahmaputra River Valley. Bodo culture is deeply tied to their language, which is one of the recognized languages of Assam, and their folk music, dances, and festivals such as the Buisau are an integral part of their identity. The Bodo have long struggled for political autonomy and recognition, with several movements advocating for greater rights and the preservation of their culture. Their traditional garments like the hand-woven gamoza and dokna symbolize their connection to their roots. Despite modern pressures, the Bodo people continue to resist cultural erosion, striving to maintain their unique traditions and way of life. Nomadic beauty. The Wodaabe, a Fulani ethnic group living in the Sahel region of West Africa, are known for their nomadic lifestyle and elaborate beauty rituals. What sets the Wodaabe apart is their emphasis on physical beauty and grace, especially in their courtship practices. Men wear elaborate costumes, face paint, and jewelry to impress women, and beauty contests are held during the annual Karakol festival. During this festival, men display their skills in dance and singing, aiming to attract a woman's attention. The Wodaabe are primarily cattle herders, and their wealth is measured by the size of their herds. Despite the pressures of modernity, the Wodaabe maintain a traditional lifestyle, moving across the harsh desert landscape with their cattle in search of water and grazing land. Their strong cultural emphasis on beauty, music, and dance makes them one of the most distinctive tribes in Africa. Masters of rhythm. The Yu people are an ethnic group primarily located in West Africa, spread across southeastern Ghana, southern Togo, and parts of Benin. They are renowned for their musical traditions, especially drumming, which plays a central role in their cultural identity. The Yu have a rich history of complex rhythms, with their music used in ceremonies, celebrations, and to communicate with the spiritual realm. The Kaagbeko are an iconic feature of Yuvi culture, and their drum beats are said to have the power to invoke spirits. The Yu are also known for their elaborate dances, which are often performed in intricate patterns and involve vibrant, colorful costumes. Traditionally farmers, the Yu grow crops like cassava, yams, and maize, and they also engage in fishing. Their social structure is organized around clans, and they practice a form of ancestor worship, believing their ancestors continue to watch over and guide them. Despite modern influences, the Yu continue to maintain their cultural practices and rhythmic traditions. Now for the most infamous and often seen as nefarious tribe of the world, a tribe responsible for one of the most, if not the most famous disappearance known to man. They are none other than the Asmat tribe. The Asmat people are an indigenous group residing in the remote coastal regions of Papua, Indonesia. Known for their complex social structure and artistic traditions, the Asmat have long been considered one of the most fascinating tribes in the world. Their culture revolves around the belief in powerful spirits, with the ancestors playing an integral role in their daily lives. The Asmat are renowned for their intricate wood carvings, which are used in religious rituals and ceremonies. These carvings, often depicting human figures and spirits, are not just art, but are believed to embody the spiritual world. Traditionally, the Asmat lived in small wooden villages built along the rivers and swamps of their homeland. They are known for their warrior culture, where headhunting and ritual warfare were once prevalent, though these practices have largely ceased in modern times. Their lifestyle is centered on hunting, fishing, and gathering, with a deep connection to the rainforest. Despite outside influences, the Asmat people continue to preserve their rich heritage and traditions. And that's all for today. Thank you.